Alrighty, so we got part 3 of the JD Japan lore stuff we got going on over here, and it's gonna be quite an interesting little read that we're gonna be doing over here. It's gonna be a long read over here, as you can see. It's gonna be a bit on the longer side over here, so instead of doing the two usual ones over here, I'm just gonna read that over in here, figure them out well over here, 'cause it's a bit extensive compared to the usual. Look at that I got over here. And I gotta be prepped for this. Anyways, I'm nothing but a clown or a figurehead. So true. So true. Anyways, over here, the Yamakawa administration. These are the words of Hitoshi Yamakawa, the man elected the first chairman of the newly established workers' union in Japan. His fashion, the Ronoha, had neither military connections like Asu Nichirake, nor had armed forces like Fukumoto's Communist Party. As a lot, they fell behind the Revolutionary War and lost leadership in the post-provisional Revolutionary Council to other factions. Yet Yamakawa was chosen as leader by the recommendation of the Nichiru Kai and the Shimen Kai. But he's going to apologize for that. Yamakawa, also and Abe, shared one crucial view: that the radical Leninist faction led by Fukumoto should not be entrusted to guide Japan's future. For Abe, devout Christian, Fumiko noted materialism signified religious persecution. Also connected to the factors in the former Imperial Army and Navy represented a deep-rooted distrust of communists. Yamakawa recalled a fierce revolutionary debates he had with Fukumoto on revolutionary theory. He remained convinced that Fukumoto's vanguardism was too extreme and that the people will never accept socialism through such a path. When these three factions united in opposition of Fukumoto, he changed the method of electing the chairman from unanimous consent to majority vote. Yamakawa became the sole candidate and was elected. However, it also meant that he had to make compromises with the numerically superior Nichiru Kai and this Shimen Kai. Okay, sorry. Frustrating the more radical members of the Mahara, such as Sekisaki, Hiriuchi, and Masubo Suzuki. All sorts of names. All the names, really. I'm not really well versed in communist Japan more, so I do apologize. By now told the economy abolished the wartime socialism policy that made during the Civil War for the new economic policy. We literally go from Lenin to Pecan over here. What the fuck? Probably we reduce market prices in the way, but war torn Japan is literally just a net, by the way. Also support this initiative. Policy stabilizing the economy and improve living standards, restoring productive capacity. However, also give rise to the class of wealthy elites dubbed red capitalists. Politically contributed socialist ideas into harsh criticism for the Fukumoto faction. They divide the policy as state capitalism and called for a fully planned economy forced through economic terror. Through sharp over Yamakawa, Asa, and Abe. They like economic terrorism. I don't hear. I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen from doing that. Our new political program was described as a extreme mix of one-party dictatorship and democratic syndicalism, or even the anarchist. Considered a bicameral structure. Two assemblies representing the primary symbolizing the one-party state in the Council of Workers and Peasants, elected from labor and peasant unions, providing democratic representation and serving mutual check and balance. Look at that. Look at this states were organized under a similar system, and both legal policies from Workers and Peasant Council, the Nichiru Kai and Shimen Kai, who had overwhelming rural organizational power, because of course, dominated. Rumo's faction accused also boom the system so to cause all the exploit that fight power for himself. Despite Fukumoto's opposition, the Second People's Congress in 1941 in year 5, anyway, Yamakawa was reappointed as chairman. However, this Congress was a multiple shocking incident, the Yamakawa assassination attempt over in the the will be assassinated when Shinichiro Inu Hisu, leader of the blood pact group that went terrorized Japan by running the one person, one killed doctrine assassinating Ninosuke Inoue and Taka Dan before the revolution. Inoue removed the plan to shoot Yamakawa. Damn. Seems this is inspired by that one fucking assassination on that one guy, Asanuma, I think was his name. Oh, that occurred in the 60s over in here. We're like in, we're in start date 56 over here. I don't know if that was I think it actually occurred in 1960 on the dot. I don't know if the circumstances would let that happen again over here. We shall see. Some one appears to have happened. Abu struck Yamakawa in the abdomen, saying the car was in the chaos. Inoue was arrested on the spot. As the investigation unfolded, a larger plot was exposed. Inoue attempted to Toma by killing Yamakawa. Throughout the Kamerushun, he inspired Sobe, a fanatical Konoha officer who had disappeared in the Civil War, along with other ex-IJA officials officers and members of the religious group of Umuto, who fear religious persecution by the atheistic state. In fact, Umuto believes organized strikes across the country perilously Calamity. In the end, the right-wing coalition failed. He survived despite severe injuries. The party under acting chairman Kaysen Hatter united created a firm syndicate of luminaries with the Republic of People's Police, the MK. Strikes were swiftly crushed and the Soviet group was arrested. Look at that. Trials from the Wendy Sobe began shortly thereafter in court to condemn nationalist, socialist Sasaki Miyakawa. Look at that. Nikita, look at that as well. I mean, that's also names. Accusing them of betraying ideas and sending the sword to the red, both were sentenced to death. So, of course, they were. Only Saburo Gucci, the leader of the Umuto, was also arrested for his role in the attempted coup. Though he's constantly denied any knowledge or involvement in the incident, he spent life in prison, died quietly in jail in 1948. Forgotten about society. That's like 5 years later. Ironically, the assassination attempt only provoked harsher oppression against religious groups. Umuto and several Nichiren sects were outlawed, and land and assets confiscated and nationalized. The facility destroyed, the property was redistributed to left-leaning religious groups like progressive sects of Judo Shishio, or published for secular use. Yeah, I got that religious socialism over here. That's the whole thing over here. Additionally, followers of all religion were subject to public surveillance and harassment. All the religions over here, no exceptions. So Ikehida and Shime Okawa decried his persecution as an obsessive pathological programmist of the previous news Toko. Nagan to Japan's state police org. He took on the public suspicion due to being named in the trials. He called up Japan after being reassigned as ambassador to Iran. Ito resigned from opposition and mysteriously disappeared. Many other national socialists, not like those sympathetic to them, also resigning in protest. That over here is about all that goes on over in here for this part of the war. Pretty sentiment, pretty interesting stuff. These are my opinion over here. A little interesting, little look. And of course, I'm gonna go to someone over here, but we'll really. I feel this would be long enough for a bit more of the extensive video over here. So yeah, some more lower dumps. We're gonna go over here and look and see whatever sort of interesting. Interesting seeing like how like this whole thing plans out over here with the JD versus Sabur. Yeah. Let it off. Looking forward to whatever comes else. I know over in here where teasing stuff over in here. And yeah. You guys do this little video. He's definitely gonna be on Solar Stride over here, but that's fine. But yeah, I don't need like a fucking like 10 minutes on this shit, so yeah. See you guys whenever it is that we do next and whatever comes up with, because I don't know. I don't know what this shit popped up out of nowhere really. Well, until then, I'll see you guys later.